And we just lost to Steve, but we had him for a second. I'm sure we'll get him back. So, all right, we started this when we came out on the wrong side. This is a special edition. This is a special show tonight because tragedy of tragedies, and I say that with no irony, no sarcasm in my voice,
No hyperbole.
no hyperbole. Rush Limbaugh has passed away.
Yes.
I
He used to
cannot I cannot overstate the significance of that man, but we're going to try.
he used to say that he had talent on loan from God. And I guess God called that loan home today.
Yep, all debts come due. Um, Steve says he can't get Restream to run on his phone. He tried to pop in just a second ago when we had him for just a second. I'm going to do something a little crazy. I'm dropping the link in the chat. So if anybody wants to just pop in, we'll bring you on to the show, and feel free to join us. Raise a glass to Rush.
I'm
We'd
ready
love
when
to
you
hear
are,
from you.
brother.
We've got Krista with us. Cameron, can you see the chat from where you are?
I cannot, but that's because I've got it set up so I can see you.
Gotcha. Okay, there's Steve just popped in, but he's in the green room. I'm waiting for his video to load. I'll wait for as soon as Steve's loaded up, I'll let him in. Um, he popped in for a second a minute ago, and I tried to bring him in, and he dropped right out. So I'm going to give him a minute to load just in case. Make sure that I didn't cause that failure. So I don't have a stogie on hand tonight, and I haven't had time to run out for one.
Though I think smoking in honor of a guy that died of lung cancer might be in bad taste.
You know, we could have a whole conversation about how cigar smoke, recreational cigar smoke, actually has a statistically low probability of increasing your chances of dying from lung cancer. But in fairness, Rush was also a cigarette smoker when he was younger. He often talked about rustling the pages in his formerly nicotine-stained fingers. Right, that was one of his great gimmicks, great gags, I guess. Shuffling the paper by the microphone so that you knew he had it in front of him. I've been listening to Rush Limbaugh for a long time. Cameron was telling me, Cameron asked me earlier if I could remember when I first listened to Rush, and honestly, I can't. It's just been, he's been with me for my whole life, right? I mean, almost. I'm about to be 40, so Rush wasn't with me in the early '80s. Wasn't with me in the early '80s, but he was already doing radio. Because let's be real, we're the Brushfire Mind. We're a conservative talk program. I mean, we're basically a conservative talk radio program. The word radio is a little superfluous in this context. We're primarily on social media and in our distribution because, hey, no FCC license. But you know, we're like Rush Limbaugh with the fuck word.
I'd like to think so. That would be a compliment.
Right? But there would not be a market. There would not be an audience at all for what we do, or for what Steven Crowder does, or Glenn Beck, or Fox News. And now I'll be a little cruel to Rush on this one, but in fairness, the legacy media would not be the monster it was now if Rush had not made the news a place where people could build rock star careers. Right? There were prominent journalists before Rush Limbaugh, but before Rush Limbaugh made opinion and editorial talk media a thing, there was no market for a thing like even a Don Lemon, right? Um, because the thing that CNN and MSNBC and all those have become is a reaction to the meteoric rise of Fox News, which was enabled by the market created through the work of Rush Limbaugh. Now, it might even be fair to say that that's a negative trait for the man, but the fact of the matter is that before that happened, what you had was news that had a decidedly left-wing bias to it, but there was not another side of the story. So people, and that the way that people understood the news to work before there was a Rush Limbaugh to create a counter narrative is that they understood the news to be an objective platform for reporting a series of facts. And the fact is that that was never the case. Ever.
Yeah. Walter Cronkite was the centrist because there was nobody to be a counterweight to Walter Cronkite.
Oh God. Lindsay just chimed in. And apparently Lindsay is just now getting the news that Rush passed away. Yes, Lindsay, we lost a great American hero today. Rush did more for this country and for the Constitution and for the cause of liberty than even many men who serve in uniform ever managed to achieve. That is, and please understand, as a veteran myself, that statement is not meant to denigrate or belittle the contributions, the importance of the work that is done by our men and women in service, but rather to really, now, frankly, to bloviate a bit on the just unstatable significance of the positive work that Rush Limbaugh did for this country.
Chris, just so you know, I've switched things over so I can see the chat, but I won't be able to see you. So,
yeah, well, everybody else can see me, so.
Well,
okay,
that's a pity for them. And okay, all right. Let's just back up for just a moment, just to really understand who Rush Limbaugh was, what he did. Let's just start with the most obvious thing. AM radio was dying. It was.
Yes.
It was. I mean, look, every town is going to have its local AM station, even in teeny tiny Rockmart. There's a station here in Rockmart. You get much outside of Rockmart, you're not going to pick it up. But there's always going to be an AM band. But that's what it had fallen into, where that was. Wait a minute. My background utensils make it hard to. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Lindsay. Anyhow, but the AM band was basically dead, and Rush Limbaugh, who had already been a top 40 DJ and had worked for the Kansas City Royals and their marketing department, and it was basically given an opportunity to say, okay, fine, you can have complete creative freedom, but we're going to put you on something that nobody listens to anymore. And Rush said, fine. It's an opportunity. There are plenty of hurdles, but I'll take the opportunity. I've always wanted to do a radio show my way. and he did. And wow, it cannot be overstated. Hey, I like my calendar, but it cannot be overstated that that Rush took a thing that was dead and revitalized it. Suddenly, you had talk radio moving over onto the FM because it was so profitable. It was so possible to make it work. And that was all because of Rush Limbaugh. Like, literally, a single man who possessed a unique ability to simultaneously be informative and entertaining. All he did was come on the air and talk. And that's all it took. Suddenly, a thing that was dead and dying transformed. There would be, Sean Hannity has said more than once that Rush Limbaugh blazed the trail that he walked down. There would be no Hannity. There would be no Hannity, not only on the radio, but there'd be no Hannity at 9 o'clock on Fox News if it weren't for Rush Limbaugh as somebody to look up to. And I don't mind admitting that there's part of me that always wanted to be him, you know? Like oh, please, you're going to pay me to just give you my brilliant opinions in a sarcastic tone of voice all day? It's
Hey, that's the dream. I mean,
that is the dream.
let's be real. My sarcastic brilliance is worth a pile of money.
But look, it's and before we move into other things, I kept waiting on Steve to get here, so we're gonna somewhat rip off Scott Adams' simultaneous sip. Are you ready there, buddy?
Yes, absolutely. So, what are you drinking tonight, there, Cameron?
Oh, Patrick Brown turned me onto this. It's called Larceny. It's bourbon. I would have gone much higher shelf, but I am a guy going through some things on a severe budget, so that's as good as it got.
Well, I'm into a single malt Glenmorangie 10-year Highland single malt. I wish you were watching, Tim. You would appreciate this too. But Rush, here's to you, and here's to me. Absolutely the greatest will you ever be. And for the rest, fuck them. Here's to we.
Yes, here. There was ever somebody that deserved a drink in their honor. Okay, so if you give me just a moment, I actually remember the first time I ever heard Rush Limbaugh. I remember it distinctly. It was 1992. I was in the car with my dad, and I don't know why I was in the car with my dad in the middle of the day, but it was during the campaign season of 1992. And my dad was like, "Oh, son, you got to listen to this. This guy makes way too much sense. There's no way they're going to let him stay on the radio." And he turned on Rush Limbaugh. And I remember distinctly, Rush was talking about Bill Clinton basically being a loser. And the thing that was specifically being discussed was when Bill Clinton talked about, "Well, I smoked marijuana, but I didn't inhale." You gotta understand, I was like 9 years old at the time. I didn't know jack shit about drugs or pot, or I didn't even really understood why you wanted to inhale marijuana, other than that was probably the best way to get high. Oh, Cade, you're exactly right, and that's actually something that I wanted to touch on later. But I remember asking my dad after listening to that with him, hey, Dad, what's the point of smoking pot if you're not going to inhale it?
Yep.
And that, so that's how far back I go. Almost 30 years. I'm 39 years old. And so I guess 30 years, yeah. Even though it's 2021, but 1992. So I guess I would have been 10 years old. There you go. 10, maybe 11. I don't know. But I know it was 92. And I know it was during the campaign season. And, that was the first time I ever heard Rush. And wait, does Lindsay need a dick emoji or a duck emoji? Because I can see how both would apply to her.
Well, if in fairness, I will say, Lindsay, I have never intentionally typed ducking into a text message.
I hit my ducking phone with a hammer.
And somehow there it is. And guys, I will apologize a little bit if we're not as peppy and humorous as we usually are for this show. But this is a bit of a solemn occasion. We may have a special guest or two popping in any minute. There is a link in the chat if anybody else wants to pop in and drink a toast with us. I'm going to turn on this other studio light that I've neglected apparently. And yes, as you can see, I've been in the studio working all day, so I am in fact wearing my beer pants.
I'm wearing what Lindsay would refer to as one of my hobo shirts. So
yes. So yeah, anybody in the chat there, Lindsay, Patrick, Cade, Mr. TMNT himself, John Crawford, anybody in there, Cade, please feel free to join us and drink it. Well, Cade, here's a special guest for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Alex McDonald with Polytech.
Oh,
hey guys, thanks for reaching out and inviting me on. And
sorry to hit you so last minute. I was, I'll be perfectly honest, I was expecting more of the BFM crew core to get in here, but some of them are, well, they're bad at computers.
Yeah, I think Danielle is about to join us as well.
Excellent.
Oh, there we go.
I also reached out to DJ Scotty Spence. If we get all five of us on here to drink a toast, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Alex,
I was logging on while you were mentioning what you were drinking. You'd asked Cameron what he was drinking. Cam, what are you drinking?
Larceny. A friend of mine turned me on to it. It's bourbon.
Okay, and Chris?
I've got some 10-year Glenmorangie here.
Okay, I'm going to toast the man the most respectful way I know how, and that's with the nectar of the gods themselves. I'm going to crack open a nice Guinness. And
I
Hallelujah.
almost got a black can of Guinness. I almost got one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to run out in a little bit to get more cigarettes. I might pick myself up a pack of Guinness while I'm out.
It was a sad day today, fellas. A true broadcast icon passed away.
Yep.
Well, you know that. You've been discussing it. None of this, there would be no market for any of this had it not been for Rush Limbaugh.
That's exactly what we started this conversation with. Like there would not even be a market appetite for what we do. There would be no Steven Crowder. There'd be no Daily Wire.
Yeah, he was, people say throw around groundbreaking and game changing and things like that. There have been very few true revolutions in broadcasting, but the rise of talk radio, in particular, conservative talk radio, that was one of the groundbreaking events in broadcasting, and it was
absolutely
Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, what he did to AM radio was nothing short of an absolute Gutenberg revolution.
Right. Yep. And he commercialized it. He turned it into FM radio. It was amazing. Sean Hannity wouldn't be a thing if it weren't for Rush Limbaugh.
And that's actually something that Sean Hannity has said before and said today, that that if it weren't for Rush, like there would be no Sean Hannity on Fox News or on the radio.
Right.
It just wouldn't exist.
Yep. Yeah, he's absolutely right. Yeah, sad day today.
Yeah, I went down the hole and went back and rewatched the president Donald Trump pinning the medal on him last year,
right?
And it suggested that I watch a few other things, and as I watched them, apparently President Trump called into Fox News today and talked to Harris Faulkner for a while to give his reaction, and apparently he talked to Rush Limbaugh 4 days ago, and even as recently as 4 days ago, Rush was still, yeah, I'm sick, but I mean, I'm coming back. I'm not done. I'm still fighting it. I'm gonna get behind that microphone again, and it just never happened.
Well, let me interrupt there. Now that you've tapered that little bit of chit chat off, you were doing fine. But I didn't want to interrupt you midstream. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Danny in the house.
Hey, friends.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, Danny.
Hi, guys.
Thanks for popping on with us. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, boys.
How you holding up on this?
It's a rough day. It is a rough day.
Yeah.
It was made even rougher by actually getting on Twitter and seeing some of the absolutely horrific things that you could just feel the unity on Twitter today.
Right.
I'll tell you that. Some of the absolute horrific things that blue check marks, right, members of the liberal media were saying about Rush Limbaugh, horrific things that if anybody on the right would dare say any of these things would immediately be deplatformed or banned. There was I can't remember his name, but he's a writer. He's a writer for TV, and he said, what was it? I'm going to paraphrase. He gave everyone a parting gift by dying or something along those lines. It was it was pretty sick. I replied to that one in a not too kind manner, but it's kind of sick the way it's behavior we don't see generally from the right when somebody passes away, even somebody we just vehemently disagreed with. We don't generally see people on the right jumping on that bandwagon and just tamping down that grave and saying riddance. It was pretty sickening what we saw today.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that with Ruth Bader Ginsburg when she died, and Chris and I both have talked many times about how we found the woman's politics absolutely atrocious.
Yeah,
but
it was inappropriate to dance on her corpse.
But we even managed to find a way to compliment her genuinely and give her credit where it was due. If you wanted somebody that was a champion for her ideals, buddy, she got the damn job done and deserves respect for it. But does a guy like Rush get the same amount of respect in reverse? No, of course not. And you know what it is? It's because they're jealous. I was reading some things, and I stumbled back across an article that came out like some 15 years ago. Rush's contract negotiations came back up, and he negotiated a 10-year deal for $400 million, and he got to directly sell advertising himself and keep the profits. And he got a percentage of all of the advertising that was run during his show. Right. And he referred to it as a pay cut because he loved doing the job so much. And that's the thing that they hated about him, that the unparalleled level of success that he could negotiate a contract like that, cheekily call it a pay cut. And his fans, people like me, understood exactly what he was doing. He was just tweaking them. He knew $400 million was a lot of money. He knew it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's Sherry's Berries, man. What are they going to do now?
Well,
Are they
I
gonna
can
do
say
that?
this about Sherry's Berries. We are currently accepting applications for new sponsors at the Brushfire Mind.
You are
and,
actually plug
and
Sherry's Berries.
I'll keep you in business, sweetheart.
Oh, dear.
Oh, so
So
let's raise the glasses one more time. Now that there's 4 of us on here, and you in the audience, I expect y'all to lift a little something too, even if it's a cup of coffee. To Rush Limbaugh, he was a great one. He was the great one. We'll miss you, Rush. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
Rest
bro.
in peace.
rest in peace.
Oh man, you know, I never can drink this particular scotch without feeling like I should be getting a little bit of a draft. I kind of want to run upstairs and put my plaid skirt on.
Yeah. So anyway, here's the thing. Now it's up to us, right? We've lost one of the last conservatives who were willing to actually push back publicly against
Correct.
socialism, against Marxism, against leftism in general.
Yeah, we're basically down to Steven Crowder because we just watched Ben Shapiro and Ted Cruz both throw the protesters at the Capitol completely under the bus without taking even a moment to consider that, even if you're concerned about some of the activity that happened there, you cannot argue that there was legitimacy to the cause.
Mm-hmm.
But Crowder took Cruz to task, and that's some of the kind of stuff that we're going to have to do. Alex, were you at the local GOP meeting when Rep Beach was there?
No, I was not.
Oh God, what's his name? Our other Brit. He's actually South African, but Ken Holmes.
Because that's
Ken Holmes.
Alex level geography right there.
Yes, it is.
But
That is
Alex knew exactly who I meant. Alex knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But he got up and gave Beach the riot act, and then I got up and hit Beach with my theory about how election fraudsters work like money launderers operating in sub $9,500 blocks to avoid detection. And that's how they got away with get everything thrown out on the argument that, well, even if you could prove that there was voter fraud here, it wasn't enough to change the national total. Well, yeah, but you take 150 cases that weren't enough to change the national total, and that might be a different question.
Oh yeah, but YouTube, listen. We're not at all suggesting that this election was tampered with in any way. Honk, honk.
No, listen, Joe Biden won like 19 billion votes. And he
All
won
the votes.
He won
all the votes.
He won it fair and square.
YouTube, stop taking down our videos.
And it's in no way unreasonable to believe that the man whose only legislative accomplishments in a half-century career are to create what is called the only instantiated systemic racism of the prison population. It's certainly not unreasonable to believe that he was 25% more popular than America's first black communist president.
Listen, he's the most popular man on the face of the planet, obviously. 19 billion votes don't lie.
Oh, yeah. Even China voted for him.
But having acknowledged that Joe Biden won the election fair and square, there are documented instances of fraud. YouTube must understand that it wasn't enough to affect the outcome of the election. Have to put that out there.
Oh,
but
not even close.
There are all over the country, there are people currently being prosecuted for instances of fraud during the 2020 election. For the biggie is ballot harvesting. happened that people are being prosecuted all over the country. When we had Senator Beach on the show, we had him over on This Week in Rockdale. One of the things that he wanted to actually clamp down on was ballot harvesting. I suggested going as far as offering rewards to people for turning in people, the folks who are out there ballot harvesting. And it's one of the proposals that is has been entered as a bill into the under the Gold Dome to the Georgia legislature. So they're looking at trying to do a lot, and word from under the Gold Dome is there's so much public pressure on these folks that a lot of this may actually pass into law.
Wow.
Yeah, which is
Yeah, we need to have another conversation offline about some of that. I was having a conversation with somebody else about that earlier today, and we need to talk offline soon, Alex. Real quick, Rod commented, he'll win even bigger next time, won't he? No, Rod, because he'll be dead
or supplanted by Kamala.
Listen,
isn't that what I said?
Joe is popular enough that if he died 6 months before the election, he would still win all the votes. All the votes.
Yes, more votes than Obama, more votes than Trump.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing to stop a Democrat from voting dead. I mean, if dead Democrats can vote, why can't live ones vote for dead ones?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
We've had 3 videos removed by YouTube. Have y'all had any takedowns yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have not, however, had any community strikes, thankfully. One that surprised me, we got one taken down like a week or two ago that was from late November, early December. And it was literally just us reporting on the fact that Texas had filed suit against the 4 states.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I'm sure we scraped some edges on that one, but we were pretty careful not to break the terms of service. But that video we actually put that video out before they started saying officially that they were going to do takedowns just for mentioning election fraud, and before there was any clarification on that. And then they just, nope. But that one was just, hey, we're reporting the facts. This is what's being reported.
That's exactly what happened with us. 3 videos so far. In none of the videos did we even imply that the election was stolen or that instances of fraud made up enough votes to overturn the election, but that's what YouTube claimed. And I disputed the first couple and said, listen, I don't believe for a second you've watched these videos, because if you had, you would see we never once claimed that the election was illegitimate, let's say, even though Democrats spent 4 years claiming that Donald Trump was an illegitimate president, and that was allowed to stand on YouTube the entirety of the time. We never once have claimed it. The one that surprises me is still up is the Saturday morning show we did when you guys came on. It was right after the election. And that one is still up. So maybe their algorithm for now, maybe their algorithm's getting to it. But here's what they've said. Anything that was uploaded prior to January 6th will just be removed. Anything that was uploaded after January 6th will get you a hard strike, is what they've said. So any claims that, and I don't, their rules are so vague. Who knows what you can say and what you can't say.
It's easy to get removed from YouTube. All you have to do is white.
Yeah.
You know what?
But Eric D. July, and God love him, I enjoy his content. He's a little more ANCAP than I'm comfortable with, but he's a sharp dude. Brother's safe, and that brother is spitting.
So let me just bring it back around to Rush. You know what Rush said about all this? You want to be able to trust elections forever, period, end of sentence. Voter ID.
Right.
whatever needs to happen so that there's voter ID. If there's
You know what? I
voter
agree
ID,
with that. I agree
we
with that
trust the
100%.
elections.
After we revoke everyone's citizenship and make them reapply for it, we should issue them a voter ID once they get through the application process.
But voter ID and
Yeah,
making
and
somebody know their
what I
address are
don't
racist.
have, bitches.
That's all right, Alex. You've got that sexy bruch.
Hard to revoke my citizenship when I don't have it.
Oh, come on. It's only 10 questions.
Yeah. It's crazy.
No, please, Danny,
Actually-
say that again for us.
Sorry, Danny.
Oh, what did I say? Oh, voter ID requiring ID and for people to know their addresses is racist. So we can't require ID for voting or for people to actually know their addresses and to spell their names correctly.
I was about to say, and information verification on voter application rolls is racist too because black people can't spell their names.
Oh.
We learned that from Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no soft bigotry of low expectations. No.
Y'all, if you're gonna cheat and use somebody else's name, at least learn it.
I think that's a fair standard.
I mean,
I'm
that's an
pretty sure I
extremely low
could
expectation,
personally. I'm pretty sure I could sort out Chiquandria phonetically if I have to.
right? I'll tell you what, I signed my mom's name on more documents than she signed it on throughout my high school career. I wrote it correctly every single time. Got all the letters in the right order every time.
No,
I'm
I
getting a
was
little bit of
totally
echo
in
from you,
school.
Danny. I'm not sure what that is.
No, I was totally in school 180 days this year.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm echoing. I can switch microphones, I think.
I don't hear you echoing.
Okay, I don't know. Chris said he heard an echo from me.
I think maybe you just got a little too animated. Maybe that's what it was.
That'll happen. So,
It's acceptable.
Well, according to our chat, Danny's pretty enough to where she's allowed to echo.
Yeah, apparently. We ought to have you on the show more often.
I'm the cute one.
Actually, I need to start getting Danielle on the thumbnails to the videos. Is what I need
Yeah.
to keep doing. I mean, we know YouTube. We knows what sells, right? Or
Yep.
we know what sells. We knows what sells. Broke into a bit of fucking Popeye there for a second. I watched this. I watched this channel, Sarah N. Tuned. She's not a mechanic, but she works on cars, and she's pretty honest about how she got all her subscribers.
Boobs.
She knows it.
Yeah,
That's good for you, man.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, you put boobs on a thumbnail, you're gonna get some hits.
Yes.
Dude, it is 9 degrees here right now. That's our high for the day. The boobs are not coming out. This is all y'all are getting. Use your imagination, fellas.
I've upped our thumbnail game of late. Here's the one for tonight's show.
Oh yeah. Good one.
And I've been working my ass off on the design to make sure that we've got solid thumbnails for our shows lately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes a difference. It really does. It matters.
It does.
And I'm a bit I do mine quick and dirty, so they're not overly complex.
Well, in fairness, I've been doing it long enough where I make a unique thumbnail every morning. But I knock them out pretty quick. Like this was the one for this morning. It took me about 15 minutes to grab the stock photos and cut them together with the exploding windmills and all that.
Nice.
And then when the Times article came out, this was our thumbnail. So I thought that was pretty solid.
That's good, man.
I thought you liked that.
Yeah. So what do you not to? I guess we're going to get a bit geeky here for a second. What do you use to put your thumbnails together?
Photoshop.
Photoshop. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
our
Wait, you know
thumbnail
what I
game
just
has gotten
realized?
better. Our content's still shit, though.
That's right.
I don't know.
We still suck.
Listen,
Damn
stop
right.
it. Stop it. I go to bed so early. This is staying up late for me, but I swear I always listen to you guys the morning after while I'm in the shower
Thanks.
getting ready for work.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate that, bud.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, I'm
you
up
know what I
late too.
just
I was
realized, though?
seriously on my way to bed when I got the text that y'all were on. So yeah, we are past my bedtime as well, Cam. I feel you.
We've been on y'all's show several times. I think this is officially the first time you guys have been on our show. So thank
You
you.
know
Thank
what?
I
you.
think
Thank
it
you.
is.
You're right.
is.
Yeah.
And in fairness, it's because we're on at 7:30 in the morning. But hey, actually, with that, you guys are welcome to join us any given morning. I'll have to give a little thought on how to sort that out. If we're like this, obviously it's easy to pull you in, but when
Sure.
we're going through the OBS with that setup, it'd be a little trickier. But yeah.
OBS Ninja or Skype.
Oh, speaking of which, now we're off of Rush. We should get back to him in a minute. But I went and took a look at the what was it that you were talking about the other night? The stream elements.
Yeah.
I said I would ape the shit out of after seeing it on yours. I haven't gotten it working on our live stream yet, but Stream Elements also has that Mercury real-time engagement tools. I have started using those, so people can start sending us tips in the description on our published videos. There's a lot of powerful stuff right there.
What is it called?
If you go to here, from the Stream Elements main page,
Right.
there's a thing up at the top that says "Bring your stream to life," and that'll kick you over to Mercury.
Okay.
Nerds are nerding.
Yeah, buddy.
I know.
Real-time nerding.
Here's a link for you in the private chat there, Alex.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. There's a
So-
lot of cool stuff in there. Like if somebody subscribes while we're live, a boss life total will come up and he'll take damage. And then if people continue to subscribe and like and all that, they'll deal damage to the boss.
Yeah, there you go. There's a like event right there.
So, a friend of ours named Cade pointed out earlier in the stream that one of the best things about Rush Limbaugh is that he was willing to make fun of himself. Are you guys familiar with the Family Guy episodes where he played himself and made fun of himself? In those episodes, my favorite gag, and I think it's because I'm a big nerd and I am a Rush Limbaugh fan, is when they were doing the Star Wars send-ups, and they were doing the original Star Wars send-up, Blue Moon Harvest. Luke Skywalker and C-3PO and R2-D2 get in the land speeder and they turn on the radio and it's Rush Limbaugh on the radio. and he's on a full-blown rant about how the global warming on Hoth is fake. And how do you think Lando Calrissian got his position? Affirmative action. That's how. And apparently, despite being like polar opposites politically, he and Seth were good friends because
Apparently, he was good buds with Elton John too.
well, I mean, he paid Elton John $1 million to sing 2 songs at his wedding. I'll be good friends with anybody that pays me $1 million for 2 songs. But
Right.
Well, in fairness, you're talking about living on that high society line where, by comparison, $1 million to sing 2 songs is not a huge contract for somebody like Elton John.
bullshit. I will never be at a point in my life where
I didn't say it wasn't a good contract.
Well, and
It
he's not
wasn't an
talking about us.
unusually big one.
He's talking about Elton John. That's like gas and dinner. Like I'll pay for your gas and your dinner and maybe your room if you do this. That's what $1 million is to Elton John.
And a new nightgown.
Right? Yeah.
No,
New pair of sunglasses.
but the thing
Probably
that
not
allowed them to remain friends throughout their life was they recognized in one another the dedication to the craft. And one of the things that Rush talked about on his show was that Seth worked hard. Like the guy was there first thing in the morning and was there all day and was involved in every step of the creative process, just like how Rush was. So that was the thing that they had in common. And when Seth hosted what was it? Because I don't watch the damn things anymore. Some award show. Are y'all remembering this? Yeah. Okay. Maybe not.
I don't ever follow or listen to Seth MacFarlane because I just disagree with him on virtually everything he believes in. So, I think his shows are funny. I enjoy watching them.
And I totally agree with him that, a free pistol with every purchase of a bottle of whiskey should be Texas state law.
Yeah.
I need my pistol. Anyhow.
Hey, Second Amendment, right to keep and bear arms, baby. Doesn't that mean the government has to buy me ammo?
God, I wish right now.
You
know what? Instead of tuition reimbursement, give me ammo money.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I could get
$50 worth of ammo money. Yes, please.
Hey, AOC is pissed because Biden's not going to give he's not even talking about giving as much tuition reimbursement as the progressives want.
He said, this is what he said, I'm not going to make that happen. And that's a weird way of saying it, but that sends a message. I'm not going to make that happen. What he's saying is, I could make it happen. I'm just not going to.
Right.
Oh, are we up to 100 executive orders yet? We've got to be getting close.
Got to be close, right?
Oh, the last number I heard was like 52, but it might not have been recently.
The last
pal, look, pal.
was 67.
Look, pal.
Okay.
I've just got a stamp, and they put the paper in front of me, and I just go, Joe Biden. What? Yeah, look, pal. Look, Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
And
I've loved kids sitting on my lap.
We'll be talking about his town hall tomorrow on our show over on Politics.
Talking about what now?
His town hall that he did.
Oh, I thought you said tent pole.
Oh. That's what I thought he said.
You have to translate. Especially when Alex is drinking, you have to translate Alex into American.
I thought that was his tent pole. What?
Yeah. No,
we'll not be talking about his tent pole. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that right now.
He's getting a little pushback right now because he made the claim that there was no vaccine when he came into office.
Yes.
Right. Yep.
I heard that.
I'm actually the shit he was talking about China.
I'm in a bad place right now because I've had just enough scotch that I probably shouldn't go get more cigarettes, and I'm nearly out of cigarettes.
Dude, that's bad planning right there.
This is how far gone the guy is. He says there was no vaccine when he came into office, yet he got his vaccination before he came into
office.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he came in and he said, we're going to ramp up production. We're going to ramp up the pace. We're going to get 100 million vaccinations in 100 days. Like,
which is
Joe, that's the pace we're already moving at.
Pace we're already at.
Well, come on, man.
Nothing has changed.
Look, pal. Math is hard when you're Alzheimer's.
And racist. We're going to talk about that tomorrow too, about how math in Oregon is racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Math is racist and based on white supremacy.
Do you know why math is racist?
Because there are right
numbers
answers.
Don't lie.
Right.
That reality thing is a motherfucker.
There is right and wrong. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I just broke the F-bomb barrier.
Well done, because I stopped myself.
That's impressive because I've gone through this much larceny and I've managed to not.
Yeah, I'm amazed us four fuckers.
Yeah, I had not intended to drink. I had not intended to
with a
drink
potty mouth. Thank you, Danny.
Don't
I'm-
act,
I'm
don't
pretty
act
sure-
surprised, little
I'm pretty
friend.
sure I've
I'm not
already-
surprised. I just like it.
So
Don't
do
act
y'all
shocked.
do y'all intentionally watch your language while you're streaming?
Yes and no.
Sort of. Basically,
Sort of.
we kind of have an understanding that once we break the F-bomb barrier, all bets are off.
Okay.
And then on the average show, we try not to do that.
We break that within like the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
We try
Well,
not to do it when we're saying hello to our guests at the very beginning.
Well, you've seen us with the. I've got the F-bomb sounder,
Yep.
right? I don't have any of that set up through the Restream studio. I only use those when they're in our OBS setup. But yeah, we have fun with that.
I gotta say, I like this Restream. You know, we use Restream as well, but I've never used their built-in studio tools. This is pretty good. This
Yeah,
is
it's
Yeah,
good.
and it works. It's solid. And this is how we do it when we do the Cruster Frux, because it's easier for me to just send this link out to everybody through Messenger or Signal or something than have to go into OBS and actually set it up. Because so for us to do it in OBS like this, what I have to do is I have to actually have everybody who's going to be on call in before the show so that their Skype NDI exists, and then I can create the panel layout. This way, it doesn't matter how many people we're having. We're capped at 10, but you just call in and I pop you on.
Okay, so my phone is about to die. Can I hijack the stream for just a moment before it does?
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, I know.
Well, while you do that, you go ahead and talk for a minute. I'm gonna go smoke.
Go ahead and talk. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to leave.
our host.
What the fuck?
Oh no, I can still hear you. I just won't be on camera.
All right.
He's only got 4 cigarettes left. He can't even wait for the stream to be over to go smoke one of them. Okay, so
Keep it up, sunshine.
Listen, out of sight, out of mind. Go away, smoke.
so people
Hey, Danny, do you like my beer pants?
Yes.
people talk about they remember where they were when things happened. Well, I was sitting in the parking lot of a warehouse that makes it. If you use it, basically any plastic bottle in the Southeast, I was at that warehouse today doing pest control there because that's just what I do. And I deliberately pushed myself extra hard so that I could make it to the truck before 12 o'clock so I could crank the truck up and I could fill out my report and I could be ready at noon for Rush Limbaugh to come on. And I have been extremely concerned because Rush hadn't been on the air for over 2 weeks, and that's just not how Rush Limbaugh do.
Right.
And WSB, the Blowtorch of the South, you know, they do their rollover and whatever. And I'm like, okay, here we go, Rush Limbaugh. And I heard the announcer say, and here comes Catherine Limbaugh. And my immediate thought was, oh, fuck no. There's only one reason why she's coming on the air. And she comes on the air, and I give her credit. She was obviously shaken. She didn't go into a bunch of hyperbole. She only took a couple of minutes to build up to the fact that Rush had died earlier today. And that is why she even, to her credit, it made kind of a joke and said, I realize I'm not the Limbaugh you want to hear on the radio right now. But that's where I was. I was at a plant that makes plastic bottles for Tide and Crystal Springs and all these other things. And I pushed myself to get in the truck. And I thought I was fine. I don't mind admitting that I thought I was fine. but I got to the Wendy's off Fulton Industrial Boulevard, and I had to pull over, and I had to cry for a minute. It had to happen. Otherwise, I was not going to make it through my day, because this is what we do, and I love doing it, and I love doing it because I've been listening to the guy for 3/4 of my life, literally.
Right.
I fell into doing this kind of by accident, and as did Danielle. Danielle kind of fell into it, following me down that rabbit hole. And what we were doing initially was not it wasn't politics. It wasn't topical. It was technology and stuff like that. And I really still enjoy talking tech. I think it's great. But I enjoy talking politics. And the reason I enjoy it is because primarily of Rush Limbaugh. Secondarily, Sean Hannity. I was at work. Greg and I were actually out back, and we were flying around some drones. Greg picked up, he'd got a DJI Mini 2 or something at Christmas, flew it once, crashed it, had to send off for repair, finally got it back yesterday. So I took one of my drones in today, and we were right back flying when I got an alert come over that Rush Limbaugh had passed away. I'll remember where I was, just like I remember where I was when the first plane crashed into, the North Tower. I was on Chambly Tucker Road. I was in my car at the time on Chambly Tucker, heading into work when that happened. But you're right. We'll always remember where we were. But yeah, the reason I do this is because of the groundwork that people like Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and Steven Crowder, all those guys, and to a point, even who is it, Chunk Yogurt, even Chunk Yogurt,
Chunk Yogurt.
The Young Turks,
who are totally not racist and totally belong on YouTube,
right,
and totally never denied the Armenian genocides.
Right. But what we can't deny what they did for this kind of media platform on YouTube. You know what I mean? They really got it kicked off, and I know we got a lot to. I think we all have a lot to owe Rush Limbaugh, whether you're on the left or the right. He made this possible. But
so since you're telling the story of getting it started, when we started the Brushfire Mind, the early concept was basically we've got a group of guys with varied experiences, several of whom include a military intelligence background with complex analytical training. So people like me, we've got a couple others. John, I got to be careful who I out sometimes. I'm as out as you get in that regard, without actually breaking NDAs. And we would hang out and drink and talk politics, and we got to, not to toot my own horn too much, but who am I kidding? I've never been a big fan of humility. I don't see the utility in it. We got some smart motherfuckers on this thing, right? And we'd start running our mouths and talking about really wonkish, deep in the nitty gritty politics stuff. And often those conversations would get especially interesting because we would talk about the hard wonkish stuff, but believe it or not, you can tell jokes. You can make jokes and be funny, even when you're talking about really hard, serious, complicated stuff. And it occurred to me one night that, it's not the entirety of every conversation we have that another person might find interesting, but there are snippets in there that are solid fucking gold. So when we first started, what we would do is we would have a half a dozen of us on a stream on a Google Hangout.
God,
and
we
then
were such a hot mess.
Yeah, we were. Constant technical difficulties. We'd talk over each other. The mics would break up. But we'd get these moments where everything worked right and somebody was hilarious. And the idea was that we'd just do that. And then I'd go back and cut the video and clip those pieces out and republish them. And we did quite a lot of that. You could go back and look at we've got over 2,000 videos on, or no, over the course of this, we've put over 2,000 videos on YouTube. Some of them have fallen off over the 7 years that we've been doing this now. But that's kind of where we started with it. And when we were doing it at first, we did it once a week. We did it once a week on Friday nights. Then we moved to Sunday nights. And then Cameron, has it been 3 years now since we started?
I take credit for it. I'm the one who said Monday through Friday.
I wanted to go ahead and go Monday through Friday for so long, but I was just so sure that nobody else would be down for it. And then one day Cameron said, "Hey Lowry, you want to go daily? You want to go every Monday morning?" And when we first started doing that shit, we were starting at 6:30. But we've been doing a daily morning show for between 30 minutes and until I'm tired of talking for, is it 3 years now, Cameron?
You're never tired of talking.
Yeah, that's fair. Is it 3 years now, or are we just creeping up on, or are we just coming up on 2? It's been a hot damn, no, it has been 3 years.
You're asking me to math after this much larceny.
No, it has been 3 years since we started daily. And since we started going daily, we have missed precious few days. Like even over the last couple of months, I had surgery on December 3rd, and I mean they cut a Coca-Cola can of meat out of the back of me.
Stop! People don't want to know this.
I'm not going any further than that. We don't have to go into deep detail. Jesus Christ, they cut a Coca-Cola can out of the back of me. I was laid up in bed. I
love you, Danny. I love you.
I'm sorry, Danny. I missed it.
I said they cut a can out of your can.
Yes, they did. And I'm serious as a heart attack. I mean, I'm not exaggerating on the size of this hole, but basically, I was laid up in bed from December 3rd until I'm still recovering now. Like I'm still having to redress the wound 2 or 3 times a day.
It's not pretty.
In that period, we still have missed very few shows. This is what we do.
Stick a dick in it yet? Then
say again.
Dude, he's a soldier. He's always ready for a dick. Come on now.
A
soldier must always be prepared.
I have a name tape for my ACUs that says Big Spoon.
He's always ready to receive. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Okay, so Danny, let me tell you a
team.
funny story. Years and years and years ago, I had a roommate, Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin is what you would call greedy.
Okay.
He's not gay. He's not straight. He's greedy.
Oh, gotcha.
So Kevin and I lived together for 6 months or so. We had a little townhouse in Old Town Conyers, just down the street from the. You would recognize it now as the Old Town Ghetto, Alex. that area. We had a little townhouse over there,
right.
And more nights than not, we would end up at the Waffle House in the middle of the night after one of us got off of work. And one night we're sitting there eating dinner, hanging out, drinking coffee, and somebody asked us, "We see you in here all the time. Are y'all together?" And Kevin said slightly effeminately, "Oh no. Any man I'm going with, I want somebody to wonder who's the bitch. I want there to be some smidgen of possibility that I could not be the bitch."
Buddy, I hate to do it. This is so much fun, and I feel like the Maharashi would appreciate.
Are you about to remove all doubt of to who's the bitch?
That's exactly what I was just thinking. Now we know who's the bitch.
Oh my God, Danny! It's a good thing you're pretty.
Hey, I've got long hair.
Hey, no, I was just gonna say my phone is gonna die. If I drop off, it's not because I'm not enjoying myself. It's because my phone is gonna die, and I just one more, Maharashi.
I need to
Mega dittos, Rush. Mega dittos.
Heaven just got its DJ.
He's moved on to the big studio in the sky.
Well, it's like your thumbnail said, man. And Golden ELB is signing off.
Yep. And on that note, Cameron, before you hang up, we're going to leave you with this comment.
No, I'm not going to hang up.
Cam getting shat upon.
Cam is not getting shat upon. Now y'all cut it out.
Oh,
No,
thank
that's
you,
okay.
Legion.
Look, I'm so awesome. I'm okay with people taking shots at me. Please believe.
You know, whenever I see Legion pop up in the chats, my brain goes back to that old cartoon with IR Baboon, because I see his icon, and when you see it large, you can see that it's this stone statuary, right? But when you're seeing the smaller icon, it always looks to me like some kind of a stone gorilla face, and my head goes back to IR Baboon, and of course I am Legion, we are Legion, and I see that and I just immediately think IR Legion, ER Legion. Okay, I'm getting a little windy. I'm getting a little extra windy in my circumlocution. Thanks, Glenn Morgie.
Oh, wait. Did Chris just admit the circumlocution? I was going to drop that word on him and sometime the next week.
Are you kidding? I constantly revel and glorify in my sesquipedalian circumlocution.
You wander about yourself a lot.
Yeah, and hey, it helps me stay in shape, because please believe wandering around my big ass is a long walk.
No, it doesn't. I've been to your house recently. That's a long walk.
Cameron.
You know.
Yeah, it's also Girl Scout cookie season. So hey, by the way, anybody need Girl Scout cookies? Please buy them so I don't have to.
Hey, real quick before my phone dies, can I just say thanks, Polytech? Thanks for coming on our show. We love you guys.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Thanks for having us. Our first visit to your show under unfortunate circumstances, but we'll come back again.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the mornings when you're on, I'm generally teaching, so that's why I've never video bombed you in the past. But
no, it's okay. I get it.
Come visit.
You're scrambling eggs while your Chinese students how to speak English. It's okay.
Yeah, well, that's actually why I end up watching you guys while I'm scrambling eggs, is because I tend to be teaching Chinese kids to speak English while you're live. So I have to catch you on the replay.
That wasn't a joke. I meant every word I said quite literally.
And we have a special request from the audience. Apparently, Matt Parks, the original Ninja Turtles. Okay, to be clear, I understand that the logo Matt is using for his avatar is the Thundercats logo. The Ninja Turtles thing is a completely separate thing, and Matt remembers trying on my body armor in Kandahar. I've got a picture of it somewhere. I'll have to show you guys that sometime, because Matt Parks put on my body armor while we were deployed, and he looked legit like he was wearing a turtle shell.
I was going to ask
one of the most hilarious things ever.
If Matt is just human size or your size, is he like
no?
normal?
He's human size.
Okay.
He's he may be a little smaller. He may be more like Cameron size.
Oh,
but
that's awesome.
Matt says we should do more
Who's the
evening
free one?
episodes.
Just don't do Mondays and Thursdays.
Right.
Fair enough.
Those are
Actually, you know what? y'all, if y'all can chit chat, if y'all can keep talking for just a minute, I may actually have that picture. Give me just a second. There's one place it could be if it's still here.
Yeah, just stay away from Mondays and Thursdays, and everything will be good. We used to do. You were talking about getting started. I don't know if you know this, Chris, but we got started on Just for Fun Radio. My first show was over there, and it was once a week. And Danny would come on in Google Hangouts, and
there's Matt. Yeah,
Danny would come on in Google Hangouts, but we did one night a week, but it was like 3 hours.
2.5 hours.
2.5, 3, yeah, 2.5 hours. And I'll tell you what, that's a lot of time to fill.
Long as fuck.
Then we got,
Yeah,
then I go,
about as long as Rush Limbaugh used to fill.
And said, okay, gonna do it.
Yeah, I went and did Just for Fun a couple weeks ago.
Hey, guess whose battery died?
And I did a full. No.
Oh,
He just froze.
A little
I
burst.
think his internet connection shitty. But yeah, I went and did a show with Polytech. I went and did a show with Just for Fun a couple weeks ago, and yeah, that 3 hours. That's a long show.
Yeah,
but I had an absolute blast. And buddy, I tell you what, I could definitely sit and talk to DJ Scotty about strawberry flavored anal-ease for 3 hours any day of the week.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, I saw you over there. I called in and tried to win you a T-shirt.
Man, I'm
glad you said something. The guy that won the T-shirt, a T-shirt from me, he won one of our
the
Enemy is Filled with Chewy Nougat T-shirts. So I sent him one. He said he got a small. I ordered him a double extra large. I'm glad you said something. I need to make a note. I need to call my distributor and make them send him a different shirt.
Another Cameron Anderson idea, but
The Enemy is Filled with Chewy Nougat? I disagree. Mario remembers The Enemy is Filled with Chewy Nougat. Man, I wish we could get Legion to come on the show tonight and talk about the origin of The Enemy is Filled with Chewy Nougat battle cry.
Okay.
Well, listen,
Chris,
while all
my
these
phone
folks
this
go on,
morning, I'm at sub 5%.
yeah, your phone's basically fucking you in the ass right now. Okay.
Yeah, you have no video.
Well, Cameron, you can hang up. I'll see you in the morning, brother. Cameron, if you could still hear me, we're going to be talking about. Sorry, guys.
Bye, Cam. Love
All
you.
right. So anyway, I'm going to take advantage of this. I got you on, Chris. I got your friends in the chat. So I need to order plates. And
wow, are you in the right place to have that conversation?
Yeah. So I mean, what do people recommend? What's the recommendation these days? Ceramic, polythene? I mean, we would say soft, right? Over stick.
Yes.
Okay.
I like ceramic plates, but Matt, do me a favor, brother. If you can hop on and talk to Alex about plates, I just dropped the link in the chat again. Just click that link, Matt. Please hop on and talk to our boy about some plates real quick.
Please do.
Or Legion or Steve, any one of you guys, if you could hop in real quick. I have not bought my own body armor. The body armor that I currently have is body armor that I basically stole from the Army by accident.
Right.
Because I showed up at CIF to turn in my equipment when I got out, when my contract ended.
When your wife said you may not work there anymore?
Yeah, she asked me to stop getting shot at, and I was like, she would have let me stay in the Army. To be clear, my wife would have been fine with me staying in the Army, but I had to promise that I wouldn't get shot at anymore, and
that was your
I'm
job.
not going to ride a desk in the Army, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to wear the uniform unless I get to kill bad guys. If I'm not kicking in your fucking wall and saying, "Oh yeah," and having a bunch of older soldiers that remember the Kool-Aid Man just about blow a mission because they're laughing so hard. That's not the Army I want.
Right.
So Steve says RMA armament level 4 ceramic / poly. That's his suggestion.
RMA, armament.
Yep. And Alex, I can send you Steve's contact information if that's okay with you, Steve. And you can call him for a consult. Steve is as big a gear queer on that kind of stuff as you are on guns. Like, so for those of you in the audience who know me and don't know Alex yet, I am an unparalleled rifleman. I am a near perfect rifle marksman. Alex is a much better pistol marksman than I am. And I know guns inside and out. Alex keeps up with them the way that a car gearhead reads the magazines and keeps up with the new makes and models. I don't keep up with all the manufacturers, who's doing what and this and that. I know guns from a very mechanical perspective. You hand me a gun, and even if I've never heard of the make, heard of the manufacturer, or seen the particular weapon you've handed me, I can take it apart, clean it, put it back together, and operate it like an absolute madman. But Alex is a far better and far more practiced pistolier than I am.
Yeah, so I'm not a collector or anything like that. I'm a shooter. I shoot about 1,000 rounds a month. I take as many classes as I possibly can from as many different instructors as I can. I only have a handful of guns, but I am proficient. Let's say proficient with every single one of them, and it's becoming more and more clear that a level of proficiency with weapons might be necessary at some point in the near future. And you know, most of my shooting is with the handgun, with the pistol. And you know, obviously I have a carbine. I have a really nice SIG. It's a M400. It's SBR'd. It's a nice 11.5-inch barrel. But I just got my plate carrier last week, and now I need plates for the innards of it. So I'll be ordering some soft armor. And I've pulled up RMA Defense here, and yeah, seems like a good deal. And I actually think I have a through Sage Dynamics, because I'm a Sage. You know, you've heard of Aaron Cowan, Sage Dynamics, the instructor.
Yes.
I'm part of his alumni group, and we have like discount codes all over the place. And I think RMA is one of the places we have a discount. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Y'all know, I'm sure you haven't paid close attention to it, but there's this black pad that sits on the desk over here. And that's what it is.
Armorer's mat.
Yep. Next to my I'll just have to pick all that shit up and put that away later. But it's the armorer's mat, but it's a mouse pad. Right. But I use a trackball mouse. I've got no use for
no use for mouse pad.
Completely cosmetic.
I have, so you know, I like I said, I'm not a collector of guns. I just have a handful of guns which I shoot religiously.
Yeah.
Except for one. I have one, a brand new in the box, Daniel Defense DD M4 V7, which I've never put a single round through. I picked it up. I got I got steel on it when I bought it. Bought it for like $1,100. Those things are selling now for $2,500, I think.
Yep.
So I might just turn around and sell that, because I shoot my SIG, my M400, you know, their version of an M4, and that's what I shoot. So yeah, I gotta.
I've dropped by the gun show at the horse park weekend before last, I think.
Yeah.
No, last weekend before last. I dropped by there to talk to Ron about some other business, and I hung around and talked to some of the vendors. And damn, man, talking about 5.56 for between $1.50 and $2 a round. Damn, son.
Yeah.
Glad I'm stocked.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I've been shooting is, you know, because I had a shit ton of ammo.
But you know, we're rapidly approaching a place where the actual cost of ammo is whatever you have cost me one round.
Yeah.
Hal, are you watching the chat?
Here we go. Let's see. If you expect rifles, steel level 3. Yeah, that's what soft armor would stop a green tip? Would level 4 soft armor actually stop a green tip? Because that, believe it or not, that is a very common round in America.
Yeah,
in fact, right now, if you're looking for 223 or 556, green tips are about really all you can find in bulk. So chances are you are going to come across it in the wild at some point. And I know obviously steel level 3, I think steel will stop a green tip, won't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not as smart on armor as Steve is. Like I said, the armor I have, literally what happened is I was issued one set of armor in garrison, and I was issued an additional set of armor in theater. And when I went to ETS out of the Army, I attempted to turn in both sets of armor to CIF, because that's the central issuing facility, because I was afraid they were going to bill me for it. And they actually refused to take me. They refused to take one of the sets of armor. They said, well, this wasn't hand receipted to you through this CIF, so we can't take it back. I'm like, okay. So it's in my garage now. They did, however, charge me $75 for a canteen cup that I couldn't find, which, by the way, has since turned up when I was going through old gear. So I have my $75 canteen cup. I might just have to do a show that's just a half hour of y'all watching me drink liquor out of my $75 tin cup.
That's more expensive than Crowder's cup.
Right? I've got one of those too, by the way. It's a lovely cup, but it's dainty. It's more of a, I can see drinking scotch out of that cup, but for a coffee cup, I need something that's a little more man-sized.
Dude, a beer stein is dainty in your hands.
Yes, it is.
Hey, I got my leftist tears tumbler showed up the other day.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
I'm not a subscriber to Daily Wire yet. I've been a subscriber to Crowder for several years and enjoying the military discount.
I did the Black Friday. They had a Black Friday deal. It was half price for the all access. So I did that and just got my cup. Totally forgot about it. Just got the cups the other day. So my boyfriend was there when I was opening. He's like, what is this shit? He's like, oh my God, what kind of bizarre, like, random cult have you fucking joined now? Like, what are you into now?
That is just too much Ben Shapiro for my liking.
I like Ben Shapiro. I like Ben Shapiro. I really do. But he's been wrong as two boys fucking on the whole Capitol thing.
I love me a good nerdy Jew, and every once in a while a little boy on boy porn. I mean, depending on the night and the amount of liquor, I mean, I'm not judging. Just whatever. It's what I tell my math students. Whatever gets you there. You got to count on your fingers. You got to 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever the fuck gets you there, get you there.
I played trumpet. I saw a meme earlier as a couple sitting on the couch, and the man asks the woman, he says, you want to watch golf? You want to watch golf or porn? And she says, let's watch porn. You already know how to play golf.
Oh. Yeah, it's funny.
Patrick's leaving. Good night, Patrick.
Night, Patrick.
Oh, sleep well, Patrick. So y'all were telling the stories earlier of where you were when you heard the news that Rush had passed. I was right here in my studio, in my basement studio, at my desk, cutting up a bunch of Democrats that we shot on Saturday. To be clear, it was a wedding, and we shot video, and I'm editing that video. No Democrats were harmed in the making of this message. I mean,
Krista says she thought I was telling my students to watch boy on boy porn. Hey, I'm not judging. Dude,
yeah. Krista, you got to understand, they're mostly Chinamen.
If that's what, no, these are my American kids, but yeah, whatever, dude, I'm not judging. Whatever gets you there, get there.
Hey,
Anyway, sorry.
you
Back
know,
to you were being serious. Sorry.
I was not. um, no, we shot a wedding this weekend, and it's funny. This is the second time I've run into kind of a similar thing. This wedding that we shot on Saturday, it's a mixed race gay couple, a black man and a white man, gay couple, got married, huge, beautiful wedding. We shot the absolute hell out of. I mean, 630 individual clips of footage from a wedding. We got to the venue at 9 o'clock in the morning. Me, Cameron, Zaluska the Slav, and Patrick. And the four of us shot the absolute shit out of this wedding. I'm editing that footage and getting their video put together. Um, the total runtime of the footage, or the total run of the footage that I have so far, we shot just a little over 3/4 of a terabyte of 4K footage
Holy
on
shit.
Saturday.
Gee.
So four 4K cameras and one 6K 360. It's an absolute monster. But hey, there's a reason I built the machine that I built.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, this studio is an absolute. I could run the NSA out of this studio.
I like filming. I like production. I like that kind of work. I mean, I don't know if you know this, Chris, but my wife and I actually made a feature film.
I did. You told me about that, and you told me you would never try to do it again.
No, it was awful. But yeah, it had to feature. It was starring Tom Savini. It was a fucking disaster, is what it was. You can tell by Danielle's face. Just look at that. Because now we'll just sit around and watch it just for shits and giggles.
I've got to see it.
I wasn't in the movie because I'm not an actor, but I'm very interested.
Neither was anybody else in the movie.
Yeah,
Sorry. I
Very-
was trying not to comment. I was trying so hard. Failed. Just failed.
So, I've always been interested in the filmmaking process. So I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I watched some guy that all he does is shoot weddings. And I was shocked at how much goes into shooting a wedding these days.
Yeah. This particular wedding. Let me get back to the thing I was going to say about the gays. I don't remember how. Oh, boy on boy porn. So this particular wedding, it's funny. The wedding planner called me beforehand and said, "Chris, I need to talk to you. I've got a wedding that I want you to do, and I really want you to do it." I've already talked you up to this couple as no, guys. This is not a guy that makes wedding videos. This is a cinematographer that makes films. And they said, "Oh my God, we want him." And so she calls me and says, "But I need to meet you in person and talk to you about this." And it's because, obviously I'm a pretty conservative guy. She's like, "Chris, I want you to do this one, but I'll understand if you don't want to do it. It's a
Night, Lindsay.
Night lens.
It's a mixed gay couple." I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, unless they expect you to fuck one or the other of them, what do you care?
Yeah, I really don't care. And like, my whole thing on gay marriage has always been as simple as this. Point to me in the Constitution where the authority to license marriage is ceded to the government by the people.
Right.
You can't do it. It's not something that belongs to the government, right? What two people? I don't care. The only thing that ever bothered me about gay marriage at all, there's two things that have bothered me about gay marriage at all. The amount of money that was wasted on arguing about it, and the fact that the Obergefell decision is such an unconstitutionally bad piece of law, because it is law and it is not a legislated law, that it's vulnerable to attack in the future. That's the problem with doing things the wrong way, right? I don't care if they can get married. It doesn't make a difference to me. Don't waste my money and time arguing about it. Let free people do what free people do. I'm perfectly happy if my married gay couple next door wants to clean their guns and smoke their pot on the front porch. Similarly, my baby brother's queer as a football bat, And because I'm a conservative, he was hesitant to come out. And he literally, the conversation went like, we walked outside, both lit up a cigarette, and he said, Chris, I don't know how to say this, but I fuck dudes. And I looked at him, I said, okay. I mean, I, I I don't know what you're expecting. I'm a
Right.
little surprised, but I don't care. I mean,
Well, you know, it's
do.
the narrative that people have been sold is that Republicans are, you know, homophobic, anti-gay marriage, transphobic assholes. And I think many people on the left would be surprised just how few people on the right actually give a damn. If
Right.
you want to ruin your life by getting married, go ahead and get married. No skin off my teeth. I'm not going to. But if that's what you want to do, if that's what floats your boat, go for it. I don't care who you marry. Doesn't matter to me. Marry a guy, marry a girl, whatever it takes. Hell, these days you could probably get away with marrying an animal, to be honest with you. Still no skin off my teeth because it doesn't affect me. Doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. But the media have been remarkably successful in selling the narrative that we're just a bunch of racist homophobes.
Right.
And yeah, and the only other thing about my friends and family, because I've got family who are gay, I've got friends who are gay. The only other thing I'll say about that, as far as my personal taste goes, is I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't just mean I don't care. I mean, I really don't care. Like, if you were straight, I don't need your details. Right?
Right.
You know, man or woman, gay or straight. What you do is what you do. I'm really not that interested. Right? I don't talk about the particular activities that led to the horde that is sleeping above my head 2 floors right now. I mean, apart from pure prolific activity, that's how you come up with 4 kids. But that's not your damn business. And whatever y'all do is not my damn business. I'm just not interested. You know, Alex, whatever you do with whoever you do it with, Danny, well,
No,
maybe
not your
Danny.
business.
Maybe Danny.
Stop thinking about it. It's not your business.
But seriously, I'm as interested in your gay escapades as I am in your straight escapades, which is not.
I don't. And I'm equally uninterested in your pronouns. So stop
Right.
doing that, people.
Right.
You know, Matt sent me a picture of his kit, and I'll forward it to you, Alex.
Yeah, do it.
But you know, Matt, I've got a lot of questions for you, brother.
Forward it to me. Let me see it. In Messenger.
It's funny because I know Matt, so I'm looking at this kit, and I understand, looking at this kit, the size this kit is. This kit would fit my right leg. I'll send it to Steve. Steve said he wants to see it, so I'm going to assume that's okay. You know what, Matt? You sent it to me. You've lost your reasonable expectation of privacy, but I won't share it on. I won't put it on the stream. So okay, I sent it to Alex and I sent it to Steve. Oh, let's see. Legion says I am a member. Oh yeah, so Legion is Florida man. Legion understands that you had to. But yeah, I might have been wrong when I had the 7/8 of a gram of marijuana and a baggie in my pocket, but this is Florida. You had to drive by 3 dead hookers and a meth lab to get here. Oh, that's just put it on the screen. Okay, done, my brother. There it is. So Florida man, good God. It was never at any point this evening my intent to drink a bottle of scotch. So this will have to be the last one for me. So there's Matt showing off his kit, and Mark Legion says, "I'm a member of the Florida GOP, though, so we have more stones than the Georgia GOP, which is obvious at this point, and that is true." Brother, Legion, I will trade you a Kemp for a DeSantis any day of the week. I'm not impressed with our governor at this point. It's a damn pity. I've met the guy several times. I used to like him, and the way things have been of late, it just makes me wonder if somebody didn't get to him. Like maybe after they hit the daughter's boyfriend with the vehicle-borne IED, maybe somebody said, you know,
We know where
your
you
little
live.
girl next.
Mm.
So that's the one I just got. That's the carrier I just got
That's not bad.
that I will be slapping plates in. Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's the HRT rack, and I got it in green. I didn't get it in camo. I just got it in
So
Ranger green.
Matt probably remembers talking to me. Matt and I had dinner at the Asian buffet dinner facility on Kandahar about 2 or 3 weeks after the Battle of Sanjare on November 1st, 2010. We had a couple of soldiers get hit with a vehicle-borne IED. It was a 500-pound vehicle-borne IED on a motorcycle, and the driver was also wearing a suicide vest. Killed 2 soldiers. They were standing literally this far apart on either side of me, and I didn't get hit with any
Jesus.
shrapnel. I hit the ground and started returning fire. I was the first American soldier on the ground that night to return fire against the enemy as they were shooting at us from all these walls. And then I got to talk to Chris, or I got to talk to Matt at that DFAC on Kandahar several weeks later. Man, that was damn. I was going somewhere with that. That was right. Actually, that was the same night that the Ninja Turtle thing happened, where Matt tried on my body armor. Oh, so that night I was wearing a full basic load, which is 7 magazines plus 1, and I actually had an extra magazine because at the time I was rocking an M16 with iron sights in a modern combat zone. That's just where the Army had me at the time, right? I had $1.5 million worth of spook gear in a book bag on my back, but I was still rocking an M16 with a fixed buttstock and iron sights. I had an extra magazine on the buttstock. So I went into that fight with 9 magazines, and I ran the fuck out of bullets. I wasn't laying down active suppressive fire either. I was shooting targets.
Hey, do me a favor. Put me full screen real quick while you finish.
Yeah. The first 5 shots I took in that particular fight, which were the first shots fired by an American in that battle, I was on the radio. So I had a radio in my left hand and my rifle in my right hand at arm's length. I was shooting live targets at 300 meters with iron sights and not pulled up against my shoulder so I could shoot. And I shot 5 at arm's length as they were running across, and I ran out of bullets. After that gunfight, for the rest of the time I was in Afghanistan, I wore 21 magazines on my rig at all times.
Nice.
And let me tell you something. They tell you size doesn't matter. If you get good at the martial arts, the jiu-jitsu, the whatever, size no longer matters. I can walk around with 21 magazines. I can go on a 10-mile fucking hike with a 150-pound rucksack and 21 magazines. And if you happen to be a large, strong, fit man like I was at the time, I still don't recommend it.
I was going to ask you what 21 Magazines weighs. That probably.
They're about a pound a piece, a little over a pound a piece.
Okay.
But an ounce of the pack is a pound on the back every single time.
Right.
Yeah. So that, Steve, I appreciate that. It was between that and the Spiritus, and the Spiritus Systems carrier was just it was just too far out. The lead times are just wickedly long, and I had a contact at HRT, and I was able to get it. They're saying September 1st to September 30th. Mine came in last week, so I got a little bit lucky there. Now I just got to slap some plates in it because it's kind of pointless without them.
Yeah. Then it's just a purse.
It supposedly is I mean, it's a great carrier apparently. So I don't plan on wearing it 24/7. It'll live in my trunk until it needs to be thrown on.
And since Matt's watching, I'll be careful about what I do and don't say, but I remember Matt, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about without me going into detail, but I remember a conversation, a very delicate conversation that you and I had around the same time that I was talking about. You had just come back from leave. And as I recall, and brother, if you're willing to talk about it on the air, I'd love to bring you on sometime to talk about it, because ever since then, I check up on you on Facebook from time to time, and I've like right now, I'm starting to crack up and get a little misty. I'm actually looking at your Facebook page right now, and your beautiful wife and that beautiful baby of yours. And I remember, how do I say this kind of delicate? I remember where you were at the time and where you are now. And brother, I cannot overstate the extent to which it warms my heart to still have you with us and to see where you've come since then. I'll share this. This is probably the last thing I'm going to share tonight. This is an image from this was this was at Bagram Airfield. That's Matt right there in the front, and they're standing way the hell behind everybody else is me.
Back there.
And no shit, what happened was
the big goofy fucker in the back.
You mean that gorilla in the back?
Uh-huh.
But hey, you gotta confess, my porn stash game was strong.
It was. Yeah,
And this picture,
it's a shame
you're not.
mullet.
We had just done a ruck march, and we got back and we dropped our kit, and so we're on a base in Afghanistan, but we're on the big ass base, so we're pretty safe at this point. We had just done a ruck march, and so we're all just soaked head to toe. So we had ditched our kits and taken off our body armor and taken off our shirts, and we're having a smoke and relaxing. And somebody pulled out a camera to take this picture, and right before they took the picture, this little blonde Air Force chick came running. There were a couple of them together. These little blonde Air Force chicks came running along the flight line. And somebody managed to snap this picture right as everybody looked over at him.
Yeah.
Except for fucking St. Clair and oh shit. Parks. This cat here, I forget his name. His handle is Tacotron baby brains, but I can't remember his actual name. But yeah, this is one of my favorite pictures.
That's funny.
Because all of the dudes in this picture are, I mean, these are some of the baddest badasses alive on the planet today, frankly. even Even this guy who's a commie, he's still a stone hard badass. Matt says he should have worn the Ranger panties that day.
Even the commie.
And I mean, that's Matt.
Just bird dogging some little Air Force chickie.
I think I'm the only one in the picture other than St. Clair who's looking away the other direction that was still married when that picture was taken. There's one guy in that picture who I had known him since the beginning of my military career, and he had actually imported a Russian mail order bride,
Shut
like
up.
a no shit mail order Russian bride, and as soon as her citizenship paper came through, suddenly she was a lesbian.
Yeah.
Sucks when human trafficking doesn't work out for you, doesn't it?
And hey, I didn't say which one it was, but I will say it wasn't Matt.
Jesus.
Ooh. One should not laugh while drinking scotch. I found the wrong pipe. Alex, did you freeze on me? No.
So I was just
Reading
still
something.
looking at this gear photo. That was all.
Ah.
Just wondering how common a blood type A positive is.
Well, we have wandered way off of talking about Rush. I'm game to keep chit-chatting with you guys for just about as long as you're willing to hang out. I've had one 2-finger tumbler out of this bottle of scotch before tonight, so I had not intended to drink that much scotch tonight. In fact, at the beginning of the show, I told Cameron I'm going to have one glass of scotch.
Yeah, an hour and a half ago, I told Kurt I was going to come up here for 10 minutes and
Right.
drink a quick toast with you guys, and I was going to bed.
Right.
Yeah, but this is a Glenmorangie. This is some delicious fucking scotch. I mean, Alex, have you had the Glenmorangie?
No.
Oh, baby, I'm telling you, this year, assuming the government doesn't shut us down again, and even then, like the government shut us down last year, and Clan McLaren said, "Fuck y'all, we're still gonna go to Stone Mountain and drink liquor and dance in skirts and throw telephone poles at people."
Damn right.
The Highland Games at Stone Mountain is one of, if not the largest Highland Games in the world. The land-owning lords that live in the castles that bear our names in Scotland come here for our games. And I am a member of Clan McLaren. Donald McLaren and his son are both military men, and they come here to go to our Highland Games. And the Clan McLaren, my clan, every year we are easily the largest represented clan at the games. The other clans refer to us as the cocktail party on the hill, because the tradition is that each clan has a tent at the Highland Games, and your tent has a scotch tasting table. At 90% of those tables, what the scotch tasting table is it is a single folding table, a small table with a single bottle of scotch on it. Usually two. Usually the clan brings a bottle of scotch, and then a scotch company sponsors the games, and they go around and give a bottle or two of scotch to each clan. So you usually end up with 2 bottles at each clan, and then they've got the little cheap, shitty plastic shot glasses to drink from. Not Clan McLaren. You come by Clan McLaren, and it looks like this.
I've been to the Highland Festival there. I have I have a kilt. I have my family tartan, and I think Danielle's actually seen me wearing that. One of the few people that's ever seen me wear a kilt. My ancestral history is actually pretty storied, I suppose. So my full name is Alexander Morrison Campbell MacDonald. My last name's hyphenated, Campbell MacDonald, and it was a union between the 2 clans back in the old days that apparently brought some peace to the Highland regions. So, what it's worth. But I am actually Clan MacDonald.
Are you a participating active member of your clan?
No, fuck no.
Brother,
That's
God.
too much drinking for me.
Shit.
Way too much.
Damn, I wish.
I used to have a drinking problem. I'm not getting back into it.
No, it wasn't a problem. You'd drink a
Hey, I
lot.
haven't.
You'd be
I
drunk.
have a
You'd lay
drinking
down.
problem.
You'd get back up. You'd drink some more. You'd be drunk. You'd lay down. It wasn't a problem.
That's right.
We all quite
You
enjoyed
ever heard
it.
of my drinking problem?
No.
I'm a 350-pound Scotsman. My drinking problem is it's expensive.
Right.
Even when I'm drinking the cheap shit, it's expensive. And I don't ever drink the cheap shit. It bores me.
Yeah, those Legion, you're right. Those two clans absolutely despised each other. They warred with each other. And our family lineage came from, like I said, a union between the two clans that brokered a peace, not necessarily for a long time, but at least a temporary peace.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened, but you know, I wasn't born. I wasn't even jizzing my daddy's nutsack at that time. That was long before me.
Come on, boys.
Damn,
What
I wish Legion would. I wish Legion would go ahead and pop on. I mean, Legion is one of the most informed and intelligent historians I know. He's a sharp dude. Here's I'm going to share this picture real quick. This is God. That's Penelope. So this is probably 6 years ago. That's me, my father, my brother, and my second daughter in our clan tartan at the games.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's back when my beard was a little blacker.
And a bit shorter.
Yeah, a little bit. But Mario says he's the Grand Cyclops in his clan.
Prima Nocta's my middle name, buddy. Well, Morrison's technically my middle name, but Morrison Prima Nocta Campbell MacDonald.
Well, Mario, you just have to come up and go to the games with us sometimes so that you can learn that if the English lords came to my clan for Prima Nocta, they were the ones that got fucked by our women.
Yeah, they were the ones that yeah. So I was born and raised in England, but my dad and grandfather, are a bunch of Ouija's from Glaswegians. So I guess I'm part Scottish. Is that isn't that how that works? And
Yes.
I mean, I was born and raised in the good old United States, but Donald McLaren still shakes my hand, gives me a hug, and has a drink with me when he visits the beautiful shores of Migook.
Yeah. Now my mother is a Williams. She's her family is those Welsh people.
You know who else was Clan McLaren? This surprised me when I learned it. Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
I wish I'd have known that. I actually met Robin Williams in Afghanistan. He was there doing a USO tour.
Wow.
And what's funny, I did not get to see the show. He did a show at Kandahar while I was at Fob Pasab, and then he flew from Kandahar to Pasab to do a show as I was leaving Pasab to go to Kandahar on my way out of country to go on leave for Christmas. And the only reason I got to meet, I met him, Lance Armstrong, and Lewis Black at that interchange. And what it was is they flew in on my helicopter that I was taking back to Kandahar. So I just got to meet them as they were getting off my bird as I was getting on it. And Robin Williams gave me a big hug and said, "Merry Christmas. I love you, soldier."
Aw,
That's cool.
I like that story.
And
Is he like this tall
the
to
other
you?
guy handed you a bag of steroids.
He was shockingly tiny.
Yeah. He was a very small man.
Shockingly tiny. Like I had no idea. And then of course, like I said, I met Lewis Black at the same time, and I gave Lewis Black a big hug. and he said Merry Christmas, and I said, "Aren't you a Jew?" And he looked at me, for a second and laughed, and I said, "No, seriously, Merry Christmas. No shit. You and Robin are you're literally my two favorite comedians." And Lewis Black pointed at Robin Williams. He says, "Not this asshole."
What the hell was Lance Armstrong doing there?
I have no idea. He did strike me as the odd man out.
I mean, the odd man out there.
The one with
not like the other.
That's funny.
It's like one of these men is less hung than the others.
He was just there handing steroids to the troops. That's what he was up to.
One of these men is just not the shame.
Yeah, he was there giving you guys performance enhancing.
That's right. Hey, listen, if you need your performance enhanced, who better to talk to?
Or maybe
we do use
them.
We do use performance enhancing drugs in active duty combat situations. They're called rippets.
Yeah, that's what he was there for, getting tips on performance enhancing substances.
I've got at least 3 people in the chat right now that know what a rippet is. And okay. You know what? I may sneak off for another cigarette break in just a second, but I'm in no hurry to get off of this show. I love hanging out with you guys.
I've got to go to bed. I have to be up at 3 o'clock to teach.
Yeah,
I thought we might be creeping up on that, but let me just rippets. In fact, I'm going to bring up a picture.
Sounds like caffeine pills powdered up in black coffee.
Or it's snorting caffeine.
Well, they're energy drinks
with additional speed thrown in just for fun.
It's an energy drink, and there is a level of rippet that you can get in the States, but downrange, that's too much to look for. But downrange, you can get rippets that basically it's a monster with nicotine in it.
Ooh. And
I don't mean that as some hyperbolic metaphor. It's a monster that includes nicotine in conjunction with the taurine and all that other stuff.
Oh my God.
Big fan of nicotine.
Trimaxia says it's weird when you see rippets for free. They're supposed to mysteriously show, or when you see rippets for sale, they're supposed to mysteriously show up for free. So one of the things when you're downrange, there's always these tables and coolers near the dining facilities. So if there's not a hot meal being served, if you're on a large enough outpost that there's hot food served, if there's not a hot meal being served, there's a table and there's a cooler. And the cooler has rippets and soda pops and O'Doul's, it's beer, but no alcohol. And believe it or not, every now and then, if you can eat a shitty shoe leather steak and drink a beer that doesn't have any alcohol in it, if you close your eyes just hard enough and ignore the gunfire and indirect fire, you can pretend for just a moment that you're free again. But
yeah, or pour a
wow.
Oh, Trimaxia says, okay, gotcha. What the hell kind of name is Trimaxia? Okay, I'm going to call you John because you barked at me a couple of years ago for calling you buddy like we were still in high school. But you know what? Okay. So the tables would have Cliff Bars and different types of like Pop-Tarts, snack food, trail food, junk food, shit you could grab it and throw it in your pocket, right? And then the coolers, water, beer, rippets, soda pop, and Gatorade or Powerade. So that's why that's funny from Trimaxia there. Yes, okay. Trimaxia says it's the name I came up for my drone company. Lol, I should make another account for YouTube. Buddy, sometime tomorrow, you and I need to get on the phone and just fucking chit chat for a while. John is a buddy of mine from way the hell back. I mean, he was sketching a ride off the back of my bicycle while he was on his scooter going downtown to play Magic in the mid '90s when I was still a cook at Bowdoin College in fucking Maine. That's my boy. But John and I have been chatting back and forth in Facebook Messenger because he's a bit of a commie shitlord, and I'm obviously the opposite of that. So I have a massive amount of respect for him now because my other commie shitlord buddies have unfriended me on Facebook, right? Like Tommy Scott, I miss you, brother. I wish I could trust you again. I used to love you. I still love the memory of you, and I wish you all the luck in the world selling dick pics to New York fucking Democrats.
Chris.
There you go.
The
That's-
man's name is Richard,
that's
and he
Limbaugh.
primarily makes his living by painting pictures of himself in the nude. He sells dick pics to Democrats.
I
Hey,
mean, it's a living, I
I
guess.
was going to say it's a living.
In fairness, and I'm making a point to say this anytime I mention him, which is surprising, is not all that often. I will say this. Richard Thomas Scott. I tease him about the dick pics thing, but in all fairness,
It's an
the
impressive
man
dick.
Is there a good looking dick? Is that where you're heading here, Chris?
well, no,
This where
the
you're
man
heading?
is an amazing painter.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
An absolutely amazing painter, but an uncomfortably large portion of his body of work. Oh no, he's expanded it quite a bit since the last time I looked. Okay, you know what? If you guys are willing to hang out with me to talk about this for just a moment, there's one painting. Since I've pulled it up, fuck it, let's talk about this.
Go on, man.
I love his pieces on consumption. They're really thought provoking and complex.
Well, I mean, no one can eat those bits.
This is amazing. I hope I can find. He has a painting entitled "Toxic Acid Relief," which is just a self-portrait of him eating his own fist. And I thought that was a really clever commentary. I went to high school with this guy. We used to smoke pot and do stupid shit together and conduct exorcisms for fun and profit. Right? He's one of the smartest people I've ever known, but he went full commie after he spent a year in France.
Well, that'll do it.
That'll do it to you.
Fucking surrender monkeys.
And then he made the mistake of questioning. I'm not going to go into that.
The only place I've ever been arrested in France twice.
You know, this is going to come as a shock to anybody who understands the nature of the person saying the statement. But believe it or not, I don't know how it happened. I have never, ever been arrested.
I think Alex is using some kind of technicality to say that he's only been arrested once.
Listen, detained is not arrested,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Listen,
Okay.
Right, detained is not arrested.
That's the thing.
I have
like,
never even been detained. The
Picked up
closest
by
I
the
ever got.
police and taken to the police station, and then you stay there overnight and you leave, but you're not processed.
That's detained.
Okay.
There's a big
Oh,
difference.
Steve Rodemeyer mentions that Tommy Scott spent quite a lot of time studying under Odd Nerdrum, who is also quite famous. Odd Nerdrum is, yeah, you can see a lot of Odd's influence in Tommy's work. This is the work of Odd Nerdrum. Or I'm sorry, this actually is Odd Nerdrum. This is some of the work of Odd Nerdrum,
I
right?
saw the eyes on that woman and thought that was AOC there for a minute.
But damn, Steve, you broke up my train of thought. What was I about to say? I'm gonna switch to coffee.
I don't blame you. Although doesn't that just keep you drunk longer?
Keeps you awake through the drunkenness.
Okay.
It doesn't prolong the drunk. It just prolongs.
Neither of those things is going to happen to this fat boy.
No. You're
Although, I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, the fact of the matter is I'm going to end up sleeping in my super comfy reclining theater seats over there because I'm probably I think I'm at the point of tipsy. I'm feeling a little good something, but I'm not stupid drunk yet. But I'm probably just chemically altered enough that it would be foolishly dangerous to try and strap on my CPAP and sleep tonight. So I'm gonna sleep sitting up in my fucking recliner.
Damn right.
Are you not supposed to CPAP when you've been drinking?
It's probably not the best. Okay, so you'll get a chuckle out of this, Danny and Alex, and all of you in the viewing audience out there in TV land. I mentioned recently my surgery, and part of the recovery has been I can't lay on my back,
Right.
so I'm a fat boy. I've pretty severe I've very severe sleep apnea, and amusingly, this is something I've gotten from the doctors. Um, I put on about 100 pounds since I got out of the army. My sleep apnea has not changed with that weight increase, and that has turned out to be a bit of a medical quandary. I've talked to several somnologists about it and physicians about it, and the fact that the severity of my sleep apnea is not connected to my weight gain is surprising. And what it turns out is that my neck, some of my neck muscles around here are just that badly damaged from mixed martial arts tournaments and active combat fist fight, hand-to-hand fighting. It turns out that I've actually suffered enough damage to my neck from mixed martial arts combatives that's what causes my soft palate sleep apnea. So, hey, we've got somebody join us. John Moreau, you're
Hey,
2
John.
hours late, dude. Anyway, I love my CPAP. I do. But I have to sleep on I've just gotten in the habit of sleeping flat on
Right.
my back to use my CPAP. Well, since I've had the surgery, I haven't been able to sleep on my back until very recently. And while I could not sleep on my back, I made it a point to sleep in positions as to the best of my ability where I didn't need the CPAP. And God, my poor miserable wife has had to deal with she hears me she hears me stop breathing and pokes me and wakes me up. In the past couple of weeks, I've gotten to where I can actually lay on my back and put my CPAP on and go to sleep. But I still have some pain. So sometimes I'll roll over in the middle of the night. I'll just roll over on my side and I'm doing it in my sleep, so I don't realize I'm doing it. And it turns out I roll up on my side with the CPAP on, and all of a sudden the CPAP is pumping air down the wrong tube. Guys, it's hilarious in theory, but I wake up severely bloated.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
It has caused me to vomit a few times. It actually, but usually what happens is I wake up, I'm in pain, and then I burp and fart. I just come downstairs, I put some YouTube on and play a video game and smoke a bunch of cigarettes and drink a shitload of coffee while I sit here for about 2 hours. And just for 2 hours, I'm just sitting here like burping and farting, and it's coming out of both ends so fast.
Like
and so
who's the dude
but I'm
that
not sure if I'm shitting out of my mouth or not.
the dude that
That's not
fucked the
something-
Chinese spy? What's his name?
Oh, fucking Swallow.
Swallow.
Yeah. So you wake up in Swalwell for a while.
Yeah, the chink fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I'm not going to have any sympathy for whatsoever, because that's just
Okay. Answer me this. Riddle me this, Batman.
Go on.
How the fuck is the spook fucker still on the House Intelligence
I
Committee?
don't know, man.
Yeah.
How was he able to testify at the impeachment hearing? How was he able to be a juror at impeachment?
Now, to be clear, I'm totally comfortable with a bunch of racist jokes, but in this particular context, by spook, I mean fucking foreign spy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Because she's a China woman, not a black chick.
Right. Yeah, she is like actually Chinese, not like
Okay,
of
and while
Chinese
we're on the
descent.
subject, while we're on the subject, I think Samuel L. Jackson in The Kingsman said it best. We call it Beijing, right? You got the NSA, the FBI, MI6, the Mossad, et cetera, the Spetsnaz, so on and so forth. But you start talking about Chinese spooks and you just call it Beijing. That's how you run a clandestine organization.
Yeah. Don't even know the name of it.
I was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Okay, now I get it.
Yes. If you haven't seen Kingsman, do yourself a favor.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Have you seen it, Danny?
No.
Do yourself a favor. Am I right, Alex?
They're good movies. They're like, how do you describe them?
The first one was better than the second one, but the second one was more fun than the first one.
Yeah. They're like comedic spy movies type of thing, Danny.
Yes.
They're pretty funny.
Are they really?
And British.
And very entertaining.
Oh, and British.
And so British.
They are a bit British.
All right. Well.
Alex said British. Alex, let me ask you a question. Where do you guys hide all your teas?
A bit British.
I hate tea. Tea's fucking horrible. I don't drink it. My mom spent a long time. No, I'm not going to say trying to get me to drink tea, but offering me tea at every opportunity, and I would absolutely not. Coffee.
Oh no! I was making fun of your accent because you said British.
Oh,
But dude, you know why the British say things like British, and they
because they're Poncy snooty fuckers is why I think.
Because we dumped all their fucking teas in the harbor.
Yes.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And on that one.
That's funny. Where do you store your aluminium?
And on that note, in the tin foil roll down in the kitchen. Where the fuck do you?
I store no aluminium because I only drink coffee, clean water, and motherfucking scotch.
And rippets every now and then.
No, I haven't had a rippet since I left the desert.
I think that would probably give me a heart attack.
I don't drink rippets unless there's a high probability somebody's getting shot. Yeah. And I haven't killed a man in 10 years. 9 years and 4 months.
There you go. All right, boys, I got to go to bed.
Yeah.
All right, sweetheart. Well. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. You guys out there in TV land watching the show, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back, maybe. I don't know. I might sleep like a fat rock tonight, but we should be back at 07:30, and we'll probably be talking about the Joe Biden town hall. Alex, I'll try not to steal too much of your thunder in the morning. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching the show, and be safe out there. Good night.